Good afternoon everyone, welcome to another vlog, and I've had a fairly interesting morning down at the local high kart track, Xtreme Karting and Leisure, which I've mentioned before. It's my local track, but unfortunately today I was sidelined because just trying to get past a bit of a few bingles I've had and a minor injury that's just been niggling. Trying to get right, because when I get my own kart in a few weeks to get into 4SS racing, I just want to be right for that. So no racing for me this morning, and that actually gave me an interesting opportunity to take a few video cameras down just to try and capture some of the events. This is the track for anyone who's 12 years and older. There's two tracks at the venue. It's 350 meters long, 6 meters wide, 10 corners, and you can put 14 karts on it. And you can see that recently there's been this addition of the painted lines on the track, and that's just to help people learning where the best racing line is, although we can have a bit of a debate about that on some of the corners. And from the footage today, you'll probably see some variations which will be interesting as people get creative, particularly when they're trying to overtake. The format will be 5 laps qualifying, then based on the results of that, with fastest to the front for a 10-lap heat, and then another 10-lap heat, and then there's going to be a final, which is going to be reverse grid, and that's going to throw a cat amongst the pigeons. So the fastest will start from the back. And there are two weight groups. There's the lightweight, which is, I think off the top of my head, under 84 kilos, and anyone who's heavy is 84 or over. But I'm just today going to focus on one race, and that's going to be an edited version of the heavyweight final. And that'll be really interesting because I'm going to put the camera on the fastest guy who's going to start from the back, and we'll see if they can get all the way to the front. So just coming up to the starting grid now, we're riding with number 8, that's Kane Garrett. He's got the camera today, and in front of him, number 13 is Sam Monterosa. On the right hand side, number 5, Brandon Luna. I would suggest these two are going to probably be his closest competitors. Also not so very far in front, number 9, Joe Nero. Keep an eye on him too. And we've got green light, and we are off in the final of the heavyweight division. Not a bad start by Kane, but just looking for a gap. He finds it straight away in number 4, Matt Steed. And I think he also got past number 13, Sam Monterosa there. Ahead number 6 and number 5, that's Troy Collins, but hello, it's number 13 with some very big elbows, but how's your father? He goes back past. Kane is having none of it. Some big elbows of his own as we go into lap 2. He holds the position through the bottleneck. In front of him, Troy Collins, who's in a good race with number 5, Brandon Luna. And big elbows again by number 13, Sam Monterosa. That would be, well, it's rubbing his racing, that's the same, isn't it? They are racing for position at this time. But Kane pretty keen to get back on the rear bumper bar and make the pass stick. You'll see a number of cars ahead of him, or karts I should say, and number 10 getting a bit sideways there, it's Daniel Clancy. Number 6, Troy Collins, and number 13, Sam Monterosa. Nowhere really to pass at this stage. This is one of the problems sometimes with kart racing on a high kart track, looking for that gap. It seems to be that there is a bit of a gap there. Now it's just number 10, Daniel Clancy, ahead. Looking for the pass here, knowing full well that those other two aren't going to wait too long for a gap of their own if he doesn't find a way past. Looks to the outside line. Number 10 takes a defensive posture, isn't quite able to pull it off at this stage. And number 12, that's the yellow helmet out of Jamie Lemura, it's our president of the Scuderia Ferrari Club who we spoke to earlier. He's just ahead as well. brave move on the outside, or should I say an attempt by Kane Garrett's there. It doesn't quite pull off. He tries it on the outside onto the start finish straight, still doesn't come off. Going into lap 5. Nice wide line into the first hairpin. Goes a bit wide, hits the barriers there, pushes it wide as you can see, and there's a gaggle of karts right behind him, so he can't afford to get caught up in too many things or they're going to have him for breakfast. A little bit of clean air here. You can see Daniel Clancy ahead of him, number 10, looking to do some quick lap times now, no doubt. When he's in clean air, I'm told he can do consistent 28.5s. It's going to be very important catching the leaders, which I suspect might be at this stage number 9 Joe Nero and number 5 Brandon Luna. Clean pair of heels they've both shown him. But plenty of laps to go. I wouldn't imagine that Kane will want to get caught up on this for too long though. You can see the blue shirt of Brandon Luna, number 5, ahead of him. He hasn't got that far ahead yet, but still having some problems here behind number 10. Number 10, Daniel Clancy, looking for the move. Into a lap 8. A nice wide line, and he was aiming to come across back on the inside, but it didn't come up for him on that occasion. Now number 10 right on the rear bumper bar of number 12 rather, Jamie Lemura, gets a little hole there, a little sniff, but I don't think this is going to pan out for Kane Garrett's on this lap, and he has to back off, otherwise he'll be eating barriers for breakfast. And again, nice run number 10 and number 12, goes to the outside, and looks like he may have got both of them. Nice move there, but again, I think number 13, that's Sam Monterosso, he's right up there having a sniff of his own. Haven't quite disposed of Daniel Clancy yet, he's still there. But there's no one ahead, so here's a really good opportunity to make some distance and look for a gap. Right on his rear bumper bar, looking at a series of hairpins, tries for the outside. As you can see, these last few hairpins, these are all compromised. There's no moving to the outside for the wide line. It's more from the middle of the track. Back onto the start, finish straight. Right on the rear bumper bar. Number 10 looking for the outside, going into the bottleneck, but I don't think this is going to work, and no, he ran out of room on that occasion. And number 13, Sam Monterosso, has taken the opportunity to go straight back up the inside of Kane Garrett's. Looks like Kane's a bit grumpy about that, but that hasn't stopped him from getting right back into the fight. Playing a series of corners, he's right up with him again, and looking to make a move going to lap 12. He goes wide. Number 13, Sam Monterosso, closes off on the inside, but he gets walked behind number 10 here, and opens the door when there's a bit of contact between those two. Yep, showing he's a little bit frustrated. Again, this is for position. Not totally unexpected. I think this is probably for third position at this stage. This battle is going to lap 13. Kane Garrett goes up the outside, but there's nothing to be done there. But he neatly goes up in the inside and covers off on the next inside the next corner, and he has the position. He's into third place now overall, I believe, but daylight in front of him, so it's time to get the hammer down and make some distance. While this is happening, he's just turning some good laps. We can we can see how tidy he might be driving. Is he hitting his apexes? I think he is. Maybe you want to go and pour yourself a glass of red wine or a good scotch at this time, and just maybe go and watch a cat video, whatever it is that floats your boat at the end of the day. But Hopefully my commentating hasn't put you to sleep. It's the first time for me, not quite Murray and James, but at the end of the day, hopefully breaking up some of the monotony by having something to say rather than nothing. In fact, he looks like he's made up quite a bit of distance on that lap. Just goes to show, doesn't it, when you have some clean air, what you can do. Now going into a lap 16, so we've got 24 laps to go. I think that's plenty of time to make an impact, but the question is asked, you're in third place, is there enough time to make up? Well, I think we've got about 2.5 straights on the two guys in front of him. Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that the two front rows at the moment will have back markers to go into, and that might slow them down, it might work against them. So there's everything to play for still at this stage, and you can see Brandon Luna ahead, and I reckon he's now come up potentially behind number 9 Joe Nero, and that little battle might well be slowing him down. That's what happens when you start trying to cut inside each other. Kane Garrett's be looking at that and going, yep, rubbing his hands together, Christmas dinner, great opportunity. I think it is. I'm sure that's number 9 Joe Nero. That is the battle for the lead up ahead, and Kane would like to join that. Nice series of corners, hitting the entry, the apex, the exit. Nicely done. Nice and consistent, no problems at all. Across the line for another lap. We are now into lap 19, so we still have more than half the race to go. Lots still to play for. Speaking about Murray and James, I suppose James, that is James Hunt, ladies and gentlemen, was probably a bit before most of your time. I remember him very clearly. Well known for being the 1976 world champion, but a great commentator as well. If you want to have a good bit of entertainment, go online and watch it, some of the videos of James letting rip at some of the drivers he didn't particularly like. I think Riccardo Patrese off the top of my head was someone he didn't like at all. There's a lot of history there, but yeah, interesting chap. Unfortunately left us in 1993, well too early. My favourite story about James Hunt as a commentator was Murray Walker, I think it was 1989 Belgian Grand Prix. He told everyone that he wasn't there, he was doing it solo because James was in bed with the flu. In fact, he was in bed with 2 women, as I understand it, but that's James. He lived hard, he partied hard, and unfortunately died young, but he left us with lots of good memories. Meanwhile, Kane Garrett's is continuing to close on the 2 leaders. I don't think it's going to be that long at all now before he's up there with them. Also of interest, you're going to start to see some back markers come to this, and this could play into Kane's, to his advantage. And there's Ross Harrison there being courteous, just moving out of the way, and Kane gives some acknowledgement, says thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's going to be about 2 laps and he's going to be joining this battle. So probably already thinking, can he use some momentum to go past both of them in one hit? That would be nice. Don't think that's going to happen, quite frankly. I suspect they're going to be defending rather well. Anyway, looking for a gap, and we'll see if it's there. Now it does look like, ladies and gentlemen, at this stage that Brandon Luna, number 5 in the blue shirt, has gone ahead of Joe Nero, and he's now leading the race. So we have a new first place man, and Kane is about to join this battle. Getting up a little bit wide there. It's still pretty tidy, defending well. And Kane's going to try and make short work of this. He goes wide looking for some space, and he goes up the inside into the next hairpin, pulls it off. That's a pretty clean move. No problem at all. I think there was barely any contact there. And now we have a new second place guy, because that's our camera car, number 8, Kane Garrett's, and he's going to be after Brandon Luna in the blue t-shirt. Lap 26, ladies and gentlemen, of 40 laps. We've got 14 laps to go, all to play for. And Kane is now right on the bumper bar of the leader, Brandon Luna. So let's watch this with some interest, because this is for the leader of the race. And he's lining them up, going on to the start-finish straight now. He's right on the bumper bar of Brandon Luna. Is he going to pull it off? He goes wide because Brandon is covering the inside nicely. He's defending well. There's no gaps there whatsoever. He does try on the next hairpin, but I don't think that's going to pull off. Now, actually, what happened there is there was a bit of contact, and you just saw some acknowledgement there from Kane. I think what he's done out of courtesy, he's gone, you know what, I'm not going to take the lead that way. I'm going to back off. I'm going to do it right without contact. So that's just a bit of courtesy from these two. And they're going to try and do it clean. He's right on the bumper bar now of Brandon. He goes to the outside because Brandon's defending up the inside, looking for another way past. Sometimes it's quite nice. Quite nice to go up the inside if they open the door enough and you don't have the momentum, or rather they don't. But that hasn't happened, and there's nothing to be gained on this lap. Going into this fast series of corners, going to start finish straight, and no doubt he wants to be right up the rear bumper bar again, going onto the main straight through the little restriction there. And again, Brandon covering off really nicely. Again, coming through on number 14, Ross Harrison, who leaves the door wide open. And Brandon defending quite well at this stage. I don't have any problem with this. This is for the lead. It's very tidy. Kane knows, and he wants to do this in the right way. So, lining him up through bottleneck. Nothing to be done on the inside, so he goes out wide, and he tries to look at getting the momentum to come back on the inside, but it's not going to happen. I don't think he's going to do it through these series of corners. He's going to have to do it on the next lap. What you will notice up ahead, ladies and gentlemen, is coming up to some back markers, and they appear to be in a battle of their own that's just as ferocious. So just keep our eye on that one, because they might not see this coming, and that could work for either Kane or Brandon, depending on who gets a good run. Brandon's still driving defensively, but still pretty tidy. Kane not able to get past. I'm just wondering how these back markers are going to play into this. Start finish straight to start. Lap 32. We have 9 laps to go, including this one, ladies and gentlemen. Now, those two karts ahead are in the yellow helmet, Jamie Lemure, it's number 12, and I believe it's number 11, Mario Duva. They're in a very big battle of their own, and as you can see, Brandon Luna and Kane Garrett's are catching them all the time. Kane's still not been able to get through onto lap 33, and Kane's going wide. He's trying to have a big run on the outside. Is he going to pull it off? No, because Brandon shuts the door. They're going to be on the rear bumper bar of this battle anytime soon, and that might open an opportunity for Kane to get through. Let's continue to watch this. Kane's all over the back of number 5, Brandon Luma. He's looking for that gap. He's looking for a hesitation, anything that can happen when you approach back markers. The slightest little hesitation, perhaps they go one side, you go the other. Just looking for a gap. And I'm sure that Brandon is thinking the same. Can I get past them cleanly, or am I going to open the door? This is sure to get pretty interesting now in the closing laps of this race. Oh, he's having a look, but I don't think that was going to come off. That was going to be way too ambitious. Into lap 35. We've got 6 laps, including this one, to the end of the race. Again, Brandon driving defensively, but he's opened the door into the next hairpin, and Kane goes right through it, and that's a great move into the lead. While he might not have been balked by the other people, what he might have done is just given him that moment of hesitation. That's Brandon. as he was thinking about what side should he pass them when he comes up to them. Well, too late. Kane Garretts is into the lead. But now the problem's reversed. It's Kane who's on the rear bumper bar of Mario Duva. And no doubt Brandon's not far behind. Kane has a look on the outside, doesn't come off. He does, however, go on the inside, just like he did a few laps ago to Brandon Luma. Nice move there. And now it's Jamie Lemura he has in his sights. Can he do it just as neat and tidy as he did it to Mario Duva? Again through on Ross Harrison, just a bit of courtesy out of the way again, and we're going into lap 37, 4 laps to go, and he is going down the inside looking for the gap. And does he have it? No, Jamie is back, and I suspect what has actually happened here is that battle royale that Jamie was having with Mario. He may still think that it's still Mario there that's biting at the bit on his bumper, and he's still fighting the battle. Kane would probably be getting a little bit anxious at this stage, knowing full well that Brandon's not far behind. He's going to be having a look. In fact, Brandon's taken the opportunity. He's inside Mario, and now very soon he's going to be on the rear bumper bar of the leader, which is Kane. And that is the case. He's right there on the bumper bar. Kane looking for a way past, still hasn't found it. There's a nice little tap just from behind. We are running out of laps there, and we enter lap 39. 2 laps to go. Brandon going to the outside. No, he doesn't. Brandon goes to the inside. Is he going to get the lead? No, not quite. Kane comes back and just manages to hold that position, but it was nearly lost it there. He hasn't quite got past Jamie. He's having another go. And again, on the left-hand side, Brandon's having a look. We're about to start the final lap. There's all to play for on this final lap, going into the double left apex hander. And he's going to have a go up the start-finish straight. We're going to run out of room. He's going to hold the position. He's going to try and go around the bottom, and it doesn't work out. And he has had a big accident. And it looks like he's also taken out Mario Duva in that accident. Both of them are out. And this is the last lap of the race, which means to say, ladies and gentlemen, the number 5, Brandon Luma, has probably gone on to win the race. And number 9, Joe Nero, in all likelihood, will actually take the second place. It looks like both Kane Garretts and Mario Duva are out of the race. Looks like they're in a bit of discomfort there as well. That was quite a big accident. Kane's just going back to the pits here. Looks like he's having a bit of a discussion with one of the other drivers. Bit of soreness perhaps. It was a big impact. Well, how's that, ladies and gentlemen? A bit of action for you there. Didn't pan out too well for Kane, but we got no shortage of entertainment as he tried to drive from the back and did get to the front, and then it all went to custard on the last lap.